Genji 2 is an action game which is based on Japanese history. Being based on history, the stages of the game will also be based on famous battles which actually took place in ancient Japan. So here's this giant enemy crab.
Ooh, I can start you off with a interesting story I was told.
Ooh, rev my engine.
Ooh, it's about Final Fantasy.
Which one?
They had like an update 14, the MMO.
Oh, okay.
I don't know anything about this, so this is just what I was told. So if this is wrong, it's not my fault. But apparently in the new update, there's like some guy that you have to go meet, some new character. And I guess he's like supposed to be like a bomb, like an actual bomb, which is kind of weird. I was like, okay, that's interesting. And in the storyline, you have to go meet him. You have to like go to his house and go talk to him. And this is where it was kind of like, what the fuck? Because when you go to meet him, his address is he lives in residential area 911.
No, why?
And it's like, what?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You know, I knew you wouldn't believe me. So if you would like, I will send you the image, a screenshot of it. Here you go. Or sorry, residential radius.
Okay. Oh no. No, that 9 looks, that can't be, that's too close. I call Fugazi.
And someone sent me that, like, she played it, and this was totally in the game, according to them.
I mean, residential radius 9, yeah, it's a thing. Huh.
Yeah. Last thing I expected on my bingo card for Final Fantasy.
Japan just out here giving no. Somebody, that's on purpose. They could have had you meet him anywhere, and somebody did that. Yeah, okay. He's a bomb?
His name is the Brute Bomber.
No,
I guess.
He sounds like a Bomberman villain.
The Brute Bomber coming to residential radius 9. Oh my God, get out of here. What are you doing? All right. Welcome to episode 41 of the Giant Enemy Crab Podcast. I'm your host, Fliz. That was our boy Kylar with some news on some weird stuff going on in Final Fantasy.
It's just dark humor, all right? It's just dark humor.
I think we're a little early to get into 9/11 jokes.
Wait, when's the appropriate time then? Hold on.
I don't know, because I almost asked, like, when is it okay to joke about something? How many years after the fact? And I don't think that one's acceptable.
Yeah. Well, I think the worst part is, like, if they, like, do you think they'll fix it or no?
You know, I Googled it and nothing popped up. So until it gets a little more coverage, I don't think so. I think it's just going to live there in infamy. It'll just be here. You heard it here first.
Give you a little something to jolt you awake while you're doing the MSQ.
I was looking it up and I got the most cursed image.
Yeah, I was going to say my TikToks have started doing this thing where they're like doing jokes of like being a gamer in the 80s and he's playing a game, being a gamer in the 90s, he's playing some game, being a gamer in the 2000s, playing a game, and then the news of the Twin Towers. And it's like, that's the joke. I'm like, holy shit. That's nothing to do with being a gamer. It's, yeah, but also
awful.
It's cursed.
Right, we need to move away from this. I'm also joined by Tsun, who's been quiet the whole time. He's like, fuck this noise. I'm out of here.
I hope you love the alternative, Fliz, because it was either we started off with positive or politics or this.
Oh my God. What a day.
This is what we got.
Yeah. Well, and we also got Strider here. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here. I appreciate it. I think we're just going to get started today. We got some hands-on experience from one of our wonderful friends here with Assassin's Creed Shadows. And there's been a lot of news with that lately. What was my prediction? That it was going to be great, but it still wouldn't be enough to fix Ubisoft?
Yeah, that's what he said.
I think I'm sticking with that, because I guess, well, didn't they sell part of their company to Tencent?
They did, but I also heard that it apparently like beat out like 2 of their other Assassin's Creeds. So it is probably their most like popular.
Their second best launch, I think.
Second best launch?
Behind Valhalla? Or Valhalla?
Oh, gotcha.
Because and they said they weren't expecting that because that happened during COVID. Like they got a massive COVID buff because it released right as everyone got locked inside.
Wow. Hold on. I got to stop for the phrase COVID buff because I've never heard that before. And I got to say, like, Phasmophobia, there's a ton of games that got the COVID buff. Final Fantasy. That's crazy that I've never. That's what it was.
Never heard
that's crazy.
I've heard things get called during that time, like when they released the COVID buff.
It makes sense. I mean, there was a lot of game. Everybody was playing, every week there was a new game that everybody was playing. Wow. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
So before Tsun tells us about it, what was it? Well, there's been a little bit of fun news. Just, I know I've been following the heinous journalists on Twitter who are anti-DEI and stuff, and they've been getting in flame wars back and forth. The big one was the PR for Ubisoft. Yep. Elon Musk started talking trash, and the PR guy for Assassin's Creed was like, "Oh snap! Who told you that? The guy playing your Path of Exile account for you?" And it's just like, I'm like, dude, keep that guy. Give him extra dollars. That's a baller right there.
Give him extra dollars.
Yeah, give him all the extra dollars.
That's called a raise.
You know what, man? I'm done with you.
Well, it's been an honor.
Yeah, cancel him. Get him out of here.
Right before the Medium Life episode 42.
Yeah, on top of that too, though, they did end up like carving out part of their company, which is like all of their big franchises too. So Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six are now in a subsidiary that Tencent has invested money into to acquire a 25% stake in. So yeah, they did sell out a little bit to Tencent for that cash influx, but
I mean, I guess Tencent would just want the name. I mean, yeah, they can afford it. Just give it to them. Why not? Whatever.
Yeah, apparently they're getting a royalty in exchange for this. So it's not as they're not selling the entire company to Tencent, but I guess they did get their boots shaken a little bit for how fragile the company was for a hot minute there. But I think Assassin's Creed is actually probably going to do pretty good from the sounds of it.
I didn't see how many copies it sold so far, but I know it's big.
They're not
is that like a couple million now?
It's not sales. It's how many players. It topped 3 million. A day ago, I think, something like that.
Oh, gotcha.
Because it's including people who are playing through like the Ubi Plus subscription and everything.
Yeah, that is true,
man. And like I just see people finding reasons to hate on it. Like I know there's some legitimate reasons to be upset with the game, like the whole thing with the Japan censorship, removing shrine destruction. I can't remember if we talked about that last week, but
yeah.
I see like I'll see a TikTok of a guy like Assassin's Creed Shadows parkour versus the other parkour. I want this in my games. It's trash. And I'm like, just go play the other one then. Like what? Why? I don't understand these people to be so mad at a thing they had no control over. That blows my mind. But I don't think Tsun was mad at it.
When he's talking about parkour, like, is he like in what sense? And like, I guess another question: what character is he using as well?
I don't know. He was showing a clip from old Assassin's Creed parkour, and then saying that the new game was nothing like it.
Okay, because I wanted to say, because if he showed what character he's playing as, if it was Yasuke, he's not as. That's what I'm looking for. He's not as versed in parkour as the other character is.
He's more strength, less dexterity. He invested his points one way.
Yeah, he's the more tanky, like brute fighter of the two.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because you're the only one of us who's actually played it. And I want to hear all about it soon. How is Assassin's Creed Shadows?
I'm enjoying it. I haven't had as much time as I wanted to because I've been so busy, but what I've played so far, I've been enjoying quite a bit.
Is it all the rage bait that I keep seeing it is to be?
Well, like, what are people getting like? So I'm kind of trying to ignore it because I don't want to fucking get annoyed with people making big deals out of nothing. What are people exactly getting mad about overall?
I think it's a lot of bullshit. I think people are just mad to be mad.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, one of the things I saw is like a review. Someone said like the music is straight up hip hop, and then when I listened, like when you're doing like combat, I was like, there's hip hop influence, but there's also like traditional instruments and other stuff in it too. It's like this is not just straight hip hop. That music's for the fucking player, man. It's not like the characters are fucking hearing it.
Yeah. Also, you can turn it off.
It is true. You can turn the melodies go.
Maybe some of us played Def Jam and loved it and would like that in our other games. I want comp in every game I play. I want hip hop tracks all throughout. Like, what was the black and white game? That game had hip hop tracks. Mad World makes everything
we talked
better.
about that last time too.
Every episode, I'm gonna throw in a Mad World reference. It is. It's the best thing to happen to that console. Like, how does the game play? Like, what are we? Is it different from? I've not really played any of the newer Assassin's Creed releases.
So combat, for the most part, is pretty similar to like the past ones.
Yeah.
Like you got light attack and heavy attack on. Like I said, I've been using controller, so like right bumper is your light attack, or right trigger will be your heavy. Then of course you have like a block, or you deflect depending on who you're playing as. So Yasuke can straight up just guard, but the other character now can only deflect because she's more of the outfighter type than the infighter type.
One of the things we touched on last time was the instant kill is kind of gone, and that's been replaced with the damage numbers or something.
That's been a thing.
Oh, okay.
And you can still assassinate opponents. There's even abilities you can get that allow you to, like, I think they call it rush assassinate.
Oh.
Which is like you can just rush your opponent and assassinate them mid-fight when there's an opening.
That's still an assassination.
Well, kind of. I mean, if you're tagging someone with the intent of killing them, I mean, even if it's loud, it's still an assassination. Yes.
Now I'm curious about the actual definition of assassinate.
All right, I'll get put on a list. Give me a second.
Yeah, there you go. Start Googling assassinators. Assassins.
Assassinating.
Shut up.
If someone attempts an assassination, it's only attempted if they fail. If they succeed, it's an assassination, isn't it?
I don't know.
Yeah, otherwise it's a failed assassination.
My mind thinks of, okay, did y'all ever play that old game Tenchu Shadow Assassins?
I don't think no, but the name rings a bell.
Okay, that was something from my childhood, and yeah, like the assassination, like the idea of the assassination was that nobody knew you were doing it, so I always just kind of associated those two things. Does it work?
Oh, it works perfectly fine. I've not had a single performance issue.
Really?
Like, the game runs very well. I think a lot of people are talking about, like, I've seen a lot of articles too where they're talking about like how like it's a AAA game and for once the performance on release is not shit.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying that it actually runs very well.
They're like,
I'm
it
almost
works.
mad that it's Ubisoft doing well. like with all the shitty business practices they've had in the past, I'm like,
it seems like delaying it was actually a good idea because they let them polish it a bit more.
I think we even talked about how all the bad press, I think I remember you, Kylar, you were like, I don't know, the bad press is like gonna make it shitty, like nobody's gonna buy that. And all I could think is like, well, I mean, even bad publicity is good publicity. People are gonna buy it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that as well. Actually, while I was working today, because the people are all up in arms about Yasuke being. I think at the time everyone assumed he was the protagonist, and that kind of like was like a, I don't know what the word I want to say, like stigma that stuck. Even though there is a second protagonist, it's a two protagonist game. And And in all honesty, after the first couple of cutscenes, the game actually shifts over to Naue, the other protagonist, mainly. Like I have played as Yasuke for the tutorial, and I have not unlocked him yet. Again.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, because like I don't even know yet how, because I've been doing like side stuff and all that and working away, because the objectives are pretty open-ended on what you want to pursue. It goes through Yasuke meeting Nobunaga and all that kind of deal. Then like his role in assaulting the Iga Shinobi, the Shinobi of Iga. And yeah, then it cuts to Naue's side. And they kind of explain like I think because like there are the gaps, of course, in Yasuke's known history, and they get around that by like being like, oh, this genetic memory in the animus is glitched or corrupted, so it can't display it. And then they switch over to Naue because she has a stable like memory stream to experience, and it's like, okay, so how are they going to tie Yasuke back into this? But yeah, and in like the scenes with Naue, it kind of just establishes like here's your Order of the Ancient Style, or what might be linked to them kind of organization, the Templar like precursors. They're called the Onryo. And like once you get past tutorial, it's just like, all right, start seeking out the Onryo. The objectives, because like I played with guided objectives off, or exploration off, which the objectives will give you like information on where to find things, but you kind of have to use that information to seek it out yourself. And you also have scouts that can scout out the area to like give you a more generalized like area. Like you can seek it out completely yourself, or if you use a scout, which is a renewable resource, it will give you like a more focused area of like intel.
I suppose it's like it's super immersive, because you're saying that there's like an immersive mode too, where what did you say? Everybody speaks in their native language.
Yeah, so like at the start cutscenes, Yasuke and the Jisui missionaries are all speaking Portuguese, and like they switch over, like they'll switch between. So like they'll talk Portuguese to each other, but if they're talking to anyone Japanese, they'll speak in Japanese because they would have learned to be able to communicate. And yeah, so like all the characters right now are speaking in Japanese because I haven't interacted with anybody else from outside of Japan in it. But yeah, no, the characters will speak in their respective language, and if they know Japanese, they'll speak in it too.
I have two questions. One, are you the good guy, being an assassin and all? Like, I don't know anything about the history of this game. Like, are you supposed to be the hero?
So Naue, like I said, she's a shinobi of Iga. They were opposed to Nobunaga. Yasuke works for is like a retainer or samurai for Nobunaga, and it's Nobunaga's like forces that are causing kind of all the problems in the throughout the whole
region. Were the rebels?
Yeah, I'm not even sure exactly how the Onryo tie into Nobunaga, if they all work for him or just some of them happen to. But like I know one of the ones I've taken down so far, he was like a little bit of a higher up name assigned to like take out what were they, the Iko Iki, I think, like to suppress, I think, warrior monks in the region.
You're so much better at the terminology than I am. It's the same thing with Final Fantasy. Like I can't remember shit about shit, and you're like, no, that's the thing. That's the this and that.
Those are the guys.
Yeah, these are the. I'm just like, I hate the short people.
You're talking about the Lullafell.
Yeah, just like that. See, I couldn't remember for a second.
I don't know, man. I memorize things, especially if they're important to
me. The whole animus thing. Do you think these games are like improved by this other overarching plot, or could they be?
This is
just
another
as good
thing I was
without
thinking about. I like it as a story device, but there are certain things I'm realizing I don't like, and it's when it breaks fucking immersion.
Oh,
like so.
You go on.
So say like I'm walking past like a big landmark that like, because there are landmarks you can walk by and when you use observation mode, which is basically just like aiming with like left trigger, there you could like look at certain landmarks. There's specific spots you have to look, and this is what I mean. But like, you know, you look at the landmark like certain temple, and it's like, okay, yeah, and you get like a history kind of blurb about it that you can look in the codex and learn about it and stuff. But the way you look at these points is there these fucking glitchy glowing gray things.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, well, I won't miss them. And then I also was like exploring, and I found another glitchy gray thing that was a currency called keys, which is used in their exchange to buy special equipment. And also, I don't know if it is or not, but I think this game has battle pass style stuff. Or season pass.
It's got microtransactions. I know that.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was going to say. The exchange is like the real money shop.
Dude, we need to be done. We need to normalize being done with fucking $70 games that have microtransactions. Like, pick a lane.
There's only a $90 deluxe edition. Was like, come on.
Oh my god. There's another thing too. It's like, and part of this, and like the exchange, the whole exchange system, like it's been in the past ones too, which I didn't really mind. You can do. So like I think in Valhalla there was a specific NPC you talk to who ran like a merchant's guild, and you can do like special contracts for him to get this like special currency to buy the stuff. And what's weird is like in this game, it's not even like, it's not a merchant you talk to. They're like these weird rifts in the world that are like throughout the like simulation, you could say, that are destabilizing it, and you have to fix them to complete challenges that will give you progress towards those projects, as they call them, which is the battle pass or season pass like thing. And I'm just like, oh great, I'm gonna be seeing these giant fucking stupid portals in places now. And like,
so you think it would be better just like as a samurai game?
Let me stay in the I'm having fun. But oh my god, okay. Thinking about it more, it's actually like I don't normally like rip on things, but this is starting to annoy me. I was going to meet up with the warrior monks to take out like the Onryo guy, and the fucking introductory rift is sitting right in front of them, so I can't miss it. And so I go, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Is it gonna pull me out of the Animus, or is this gonna like switch me to Yasuo or something? I was like, I'm doing an objective right now. And then no, it was the guy to come on and tell me something stupid about some meta plot. And I'm like, I'm invested in assassinating this guy. Fuck off.
Oh, that's kind of what I imagine, where you'd be like in a mission ready to, you know, you're following the character's storyline, and then you just hear like Snake. You need to.
Thankfully, it hasn't shown up during a mission, but like because it happened in the in between roaming parts. Like I'm supposed to meet up with them to begin the assault, because the warrior monks will help you out. Because like I will say, that's one of the things I like so far about the objectives is like it's not just like. So I know for some of the targets of like the Order agents in say like Valhalla, you could just find out where they are and go assassinate them. And this one, most of them have like extra like objectives where you have to go and do stuff to investigate and find out where the fuck they are and stuff, and even who they are. So like one of the other targets I took out, the only thing you had to go off of her identity, because all these Onryo wear masks, is that she has a gold trimmed teppo, which is a gun. So you go to like one of the major manufacturers of these firearms, which is a port city called Sakai. And basically you search around and find the contact. And it's, oh my god, it's a lot to explain, but like it led to like finding out about tea ceremonies and like infiltrating a tea ceremony to find this person, because it was in the tea ceremony was like for like a setup of deals with Nobunaga for these like guns and stuff, and that particular person happens to be there because they are so obsessed with their like guns. And it narrowed down to 2 people, and I actually took out the wrong person.
After all that, you took out the wrong fucking person.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Now I narrowed it down to 2
what
people.
Happened was
now I narrowed it down to 2 people. There's either this really savvy person, lady, and then there's another one who's a total bitch. And I was like, I just want it to be the total bitch. I want it to be the asshole. So I selected, and of course it's not. It's a savvy person. You find a note from the total bitch threatening the other person and talking about how they want a gold gun like they have, but they won't. If they won't give it to them, they'll fucking like send assassins after them. So the other person's not good either. But they end up, but because of that decision, they died. It was like, well, they didn't need to, but I have my information now, so I'm gonna go assassinate the proper target. Goodbye.
Kill them both. Cover your bases.
Yeah, it's
So
funny
yeah,
'cause there are
it
three.
sounds like you're not the good guy.
You're the bad guy.
Well,
Fuck
so
it.
the thing with the Onryo is they're all like terrible.
Sounds like everybody's terrible.
You just murdered someone because
Now
your reasoning was they were
I just wants to get revenge because they kill their father and steal something from them. That's important. And also
Alright,
they're like forces of Nobunaga and they're opposed.
I do have to. I want to post something in the chat real quick. So when we were talking about the battle passes and microtransactions, I saw someone complaining about them, right?
Mhm.
And this happened.
Oh yeah. The developer I forgot about that. The guy already said the fucking microtransactions and the $70 price tag, and he got a response.
And it just says,
I don't even know what that means.
It just says,
Yeah, why is it just not?
don't know.
That's
The
an
executives got to
accident.
him before he could type anything else.
He was assassinated.
He was looking to put down the ellipses and he never made it.
But you know, that is one thing that I really like is the objective system. I stumbled on a secondary set of targets by accident. I took out this I ended up in a fight with this guy who was like so high level above me he had a skull, but I ended up taking him out just because I played carefully. And then he was his title was like Grave Dancer, and I didn't say much as a bad beside he just defaced cultural stuff and everything. So because he liked to cause people's shit. And it was and then it mentioned he was part of an organization with other things. And then I come to find out through other leads that he's a member of what's called the Kabuki Mono, which is an entirely separate organization that you can take down of Ronin who are just really shitty. They're basically like Ronin, but they're gangsters.
You're just a shitty person killing all kinds of other shitty people. I'm on board with that. That's fine.
I mean, now he's not exactly shitty. She just wants revenge.
Okay, but I think John Wick's a shitty person.
Is he?
Because he kills 1,000 people. He's a shitty ass murderer. I mean, he's a good murderer, but he's still a shitty. How many murders does it take to make somebody shitty?
And how many can you justify?
It does. It shows now. Often questioning her decisions.
Oh, good. All right. So there's writers.
You
know what I like about it?
There's writers.
That's more than I can say for a lot of games I've played. Okay. The fact that your immersion is being ruined due to the animus thing. It says that the rest of the game. Yeah. Well, it's that says that the actual game itself is good.
Well,
the writing
it's annoying,
the
but
environment.
It breaks the immersion for only a second or two. It's just a little annoyance, and I'm back in.
But the fact you're immersed at all to that point where that's annoying, you're get me back. Your mind is telling you, I want to be back in the world I was in. Stop this shit. Put me back there. That's a good sign. Yeah,
it's cool. And I want to point out, after the assault on the one guy with the warrior monks, just for kind of thing. Now I actually asked the warrior monks leader, did we do the right thing? Was this worth it? All their blood is on my hands because a lot of the warrior monks die, even though they win. A lot of them are fucking dead. And they're and the warrior monks, half of them are executing soldiers that surrendered and stuff. Nobunaga.
Again, sounds like everybody.
Nobunaga did it to us, so what can we do it to him? And I was don't do that.
Don't.
You get a choice. You can choose it. You can have her say don't do that or just do it. I was well, nah, don't do it.
Still trying to be a good guy in a game about bad guys killing bad guys. All right. I guess, would you recommend this?
Oh, I totally recommend it. Yeah. I plan on having more of an update when I played more of it. I just wish I wasn't so busy this past week.
Nice. Well, you got more than any of us did, so
yeah. True.
There's also different weapons the characters have and stuff, which is pretty cool.
There's customization. Is there customization or is it?
Oh yeah,
like
there's
you're the
different armor,
character?
like armor sets and looks and stuff.
Okay.
Cool. That is one thing I wanted to mention is so like in the past couple of games, like you've always had like a kind of like a base type thing to work on, right? So like I don't know if Origins had it, but I know Odyssey had like your boat because you're getting around like I can't remember the name of the sea that it takes place in. It's the waters around like Greece and Rome and stuff.
Yeah.
I am not geography or
I can't remember the name of the sea. But like, yeah, the Mediterranean. Like the ship you sail around the Mediterranean in, you're in there a lot. So that's like your customization and all that. Valhalla, you had like a town, like your hometown Ravenhall, that you like upgrade and customize as the game goes on, like unlocking different things. And then Shadows takes it even further, but you have a hideout. And like this has like a grid-based system where like you can move around buildings and place them and stuff. And upgrade and all that. Because you're building what they call the League to face the Onryo and stuff and other things.
The League of Shadows?
I don't know. They just call it the League at the moment. I don't know if it's like it'll get more of like a name just like added onto it, but I thought the hideout was pretty cool though. Like just fully customizable and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have like little mission? Like, you know what? I should probably move on.
What, like missions for it?
Like, because I'm thinking of like Fallout, where I could build the hell out of that little town or whatever, but I never went back if I could help it.
Well, some of your objectives revolve around stuff in the hideout.
Oh, okay,
like
cool.
Doing stuff involving the hideout and upgrading certain things and all that.
This sounds like something I would love if I had infinity free time.
Oh, dude!
Just
so I know we mentioned it before.
Huge time sink.
We mentioned it before, like in the, I think Miller, you mentioned how like the how long to beat thing doesn't mention. I can honestly see at least 60 hours to beat this game when rushing. I can see that being accurate.
Dang.
Because there is so much that I've encountered, and I barely scratched the fucking surface.
Well, hell yeah. Yeah, big recommend from our boy Tsun.
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, thank you very much for playing that. Nobody else really wanted to or had the funds, so you were the guy for that.
I was hesitant, and I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll give it a go.
For the podcast, for the people listening, he did that just for you.
Well, I mean, even with like Valhalla, people were iffy on Valhalla, and I tried it. I fucking love that game. You know, Viking was fun.
Well, you're
dude.
also a fan, so yeah.
I like Vikings.
All right,
and samurai.
We gotta no more Vikings. We gotta get to news. Kylar, what do you got?
Ooh, okay, my turn. So we talked about the Ubisoft thing. Do you guys remember the studio Dreamhaven at all?
Yes.
No. That rings a very vague bell.
So this is what one of the founders for Blizzard eventually, when he left, went on to create, Mike Morhaime. And he, this is a while back, announced one of their games that they're coming out with, a Wildgate, and we got a little bit of gameplay for this. And it actually looks pretty fun. It's going to be like a multiplayer game where it takes place in space. It's a crew-based first-person shooter, and essentially what it is, you take you and some friends, go onto a spaceship in like a procedurally generated map, and you have to look for these relics to bring back. And essentially you're trying to do a race with other players to find the most powerful artifact on the map. And it's filled with just like PvP, and there's like the other things to fight in the game. You could go and like invade other people's spaceships and stuff. It looks really cool, right?
Okay.
And they're going to be having playtesting starting on April 10th. Yep. So if you are interested in this game, definitely go check it out. Go see if you can kind of hop in there. They have it on their website, a link to it, where you can sign up and hopefully go in. On top of that, they're also going to be releasing next month, April 23rd, Sunderfolk, which is their tactical like tabletop game, which also looks pretty sick.
I see a thumbnail. It's like a turtle guy.
Yeah, you get to play as like a specific hero, 1 out of 6, who they get their own weapons and skills that you can customize over the game. It's basically like a bunch of mini Dungeons and Dragons campaigns, but it's all like in this one game. And what's really cool about it is like if you're just at home playing like with either friends or family or whatever, you just need one copy of the game. You throw it up on TV and you can just play it. Just either like hand over the controller, or I think you can actually even just play like on your phone and just have the phone be your controller if you want to. So
Oh shit.
Oh,
really cool idea.
Dreamhaven
Really cool
also
game.
published Mechabellum.
They did. Yep. They published that game. And I think there's one more game that is coming out of early access on Steam in May, which is Linked. Yeah. So if you're interested in Dreamhaven, this is pretty exciting stuff because we're finally getting like some content from Dreamhaven, the people that helped create Blizzard Studio. So I'm curious to see how this is going to go.
I'm kind of looking at this Wildgate game.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested. Like I
signed up for the playtest
this.
when the trailer released.
Oh shit! I'm about to do it right now.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool.
It looks like the kind of game I'm either gonna immediately we're gonna start playing it, and I'm gonna know what kind of game it is and be totally disinterested immediately, or I'm gonna think about it all day while I'm at work. And I'm gonna come home. And you're gonna be like, "Damn, how you already have 90 hours in this damn game?" Like, I don't sleep, I don't eat.
It looks like it could be fun.
I surpassed my mortal coil just to play video game.
Yeah, but beyond that, also Inzoi is finally on Steam in early access. I think we've talked about that a few times on this podcast. You guys remember Inzoi?
Yep.
The Sims killer.
About that?
We did a little bit. The Sims killer. It's like the hyper realistic life simulator that's supposed to be a competitor for The Sims, if you remember.
No.
No.
And it's got some positive and interesting reception because what's interesting about it is pretty much it's unanimous that the game is definitely not done and has a shit ton of bugs. And it's interesting that reviews are remaining positive despite that. Pretty much the general consensus seems to be that there's a really good foundation for the game based on what it is. And they just got to like flesh it out more. And that's really what it is. And a lot of things that help is some of the decisions that the devs have made. One, which me and Strider were talking about earlier today, is originally the game was supposed to be launched with Denuvo to act as like an anti-piracy. And they got huge backlash for that. And they've since kind of backtracked on that. There's not only no Denuvo going to be in the game, it's also they're going to go for basically really in-depth modding community as well. They want people to mod the game as much as possible to create content and have it just be community driven on top of everything else the game has.
How do you feel about that? To be like, we could either put that's kind of a moral quandary, because that they can be like, well, we want you to mod stuff, but we also kind of can take ownership of that. But you're free to do it if you want. I don't know.
I don't think it's much of a moral quandary, just because if you're making mods for a game, like you know what's up. You know you're doing this for fun. You're not, people that make mods don't do it because they're expecting to get paid for it. It's typically not a thing. I mean, is that what you're kind of going for?
I'm just thinking about the backlash Blizzard got when they did that with Warcraft 3 Remastered. I think they said, hey, you can't mod it anymore. And they put in unless you agreed to this, we can do whatever, because we don't want to get doted again.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I'm not sure, because the thing with the mods is, like, you can create an entirely separate game, but still very hard to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you can't really just take the bare bones of it. And I don't know how unique that situation was with how Dota got created off of that game, but I don't really see it happening like a ton. So it must have been something very unique, like some very special circumstances. Do you guys have questions about how Inzoi kind of works?
Yes.
Like what it is?
Like how much, what elements are AI? How does the AI assist there?
The AI is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So one aspect of it is just what you would expect, which is just interactions. Like the NPCs that you interact with are driven by AI, so they will talk back to you, and it's kind of buggy, doesn't work super well, but it works well enough, right? Where it's just kind of like a starting point. From there, this is where it can get kind of wild. You know how we saw that EA presentation a while back that showed like how their game could like they could put in prompts and it would just like make stuff for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Inzoi kind of has the same thing going on. They have some interesting stuff on how this works, where you can, if there's an asset in the game that does not exist, you can use AI in game to make it if you want to. There's multiple ways to do this. You can just use text to say, hey, I want a object that is, XYZ, and it will attempt to make it. You can upload an image of it, and it will attempt to make a 3D model of the image that you import as well. It's another thing you can do. And not only could you just like do that to create a new one, you could replace assets that already exist with ones you make doing this. Right?
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. It's kind of nuts.
On top of that, that's not the only thing you do is also textures. Textures themselves you can replace with your own if you'd like and just create some. Doesn't matter. Just boom. There it is. And the other crazy thing is emotes. If you're making like a character like for you or for someone, right? And you want them to do a dance, you can record yourself doing that dance, upload it to the game, and your character will do it. And it will just know how to do that now.
I'm looking at this and I'm seeing them take everything that people actually watch GTA streams for and just put it into a game.
Yeah.
Like this looks like the end of the GTA
huge potential. This is why like people are like, this is buggy as shit, but oh my God. Cause there's some good stuff in here. And it's crazy to see that EA presentation that like, we shit on too at the same time. I remember it. And it's like, I don't
think we shit on it. We were just very obviously like a scripted created thing.
Yeah. We weren't saying like that it's the technology or anything is impossible, but just like, it's kind of gross seeing EA do that. But like there's some crazy potential behind the game itself. And I think that's mostly it for the AI. I'm trying to think of what else it can do. Oh, there's one other thing it will do. There's a mode you can do in the game where you can have it like automate a day where your character just kind of does things on its own. And what's interesting is as you play the game, your character will kind of grow based on what you have them do. They'll have like personal likes and interests as you tell them to do stuff. And eventually they'll develop goals. And when you automate their day, this influences them and they'll automatically choose the tasks they do throughout the day. And at the end of it, they'll write in like a journal everything they had done that day and like how they felt about it and all this other stuff, all generated with the help of AI.
Am I the only one who kind of like that kind of gave me chills to think like that was really crazy. That actually affected me to like, I could play a game and then the best version of me could be there while I'm at work and it could come up with life goals. And that version of me will do better than the real version of me. And what is the meaning of life at this point? What am I doing?
I just kind of wonder like how wild can you get? Can you turn your Zoe or whatever the hell they're called like a criminal?
You can go to jail. Yeah.
Oh shit.
So
you can technically kill people, but not really. I'm pretty sure like you can't actually just go up and like right click and select kill.
Can you turn your Zoe into Dr. Doom?
Probably.
You can run people over with a car. I've seen that.
Yes, you can. You can run people over with a car and it will kill them. And they will have like a funeral.
That is like psycho.
People will attend it. Like there's a whole thing for every character in the game. And that's the other thing that's crazy is the full simulation is kind of absurd because once you're loaded in the game, as long as you don't switch characters like to someone else, there's no loading screens at all. Like you can walk out of your house, you can go into your car, drive down the road, go to the store, walk in the store, buy whatever, talk to people. Like there's no loading screens whatsoever. The only time you'll see one is if you switch characters, because that's to load like where they're at, because they can be across town doing something else. So it just has to load everything around them just to kind of make it so things aren't like popping in and out all the time.
This is also like a full city scale, right?
Yes, it's full city scale. I think I don't know the exact dimensions of the map. There is like a hard limit. There you'll find like basically like a wall you can't go past.
Yeah.
But like within the boundaries of that boundary, there is no loading screens whatsoever.
Oh
Just
no.
that one review we found on Steam. It was, I think you read it out first. Just
it's literally the top review. It's the top review right now.
I met a girl in a park. We joked, we hugged, we were engaged within an hour of our first date, and then I got a text while I was asleep informing me that she died. 10 out of 10, no notes.
Yeah, no, characters can just like slip in the bathroom and die.
Yeah. Yep. That can happen.
That's insane.
One interesting thing is the AI is pretty cool, but there's a lot of like dissonance from it where it just like people just don't want to touch it because of it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just like immediate, like, no, that's kind of weird. There's also a very uncanny valley feeling from the game. A lot of people get.
Oh my God.
For obvious reasons.
Because I went on the website that they have, Canvas or whatever it is, where people upload their creations, right? And I was looking through the most popular characters, and it was super uncanny. Like it was it was triggering some instinct that made me uncomfortable, and I'm like, I can't tell what's wrong with these, but they're just barely not human enough.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Like it's
definitely
too
a negative.
close. It's too close now, where it's hitting the
It's
uncanny
definitely
valley.
a negative when you avoid like an artistic, stylistic approach to your game, and you go for like this hard realism. Another negative is the actual requirements for the game are absolutely absurd.
I'm not surprised
because there's no, as far as I know, it's not cloud-based, all the AI integration. So it runs on your computer. So you need a pretty good graphics card, you need a pretty good CPU to be able to have it be up to task. Yeah, so that can slow things down, kind of slow down the hype. I also heard and have just from actual people talking about it as well. That one issue with the game they have is that it's not very objective oriented. It's very open ended. For some people, that's a positive, but for others, that can be a negative. As an example, The Sims, whenever you create your character in The Sims, they always have like life goals, like things they want to accomplish. Inzoi, whenever you create your character, doesn't really have that. They only kind of build aspirations as you play them. And I did learn that, they will eventually build goals based off of that, which you get rewarded for doing. In what ways, I don't know for sure, but I do know that it does create those. But you still have to get over that initial hurdle of playing the game in order to create those quests, essentially, is what they are. So that can be a negative for some people.
I just gotta rescind my earlier GTA comment. I thought this was multiplayer. And
No,
it's not.
It is not multiplayer.
I thought if you had all this plus multiplayer, it was gonna be the end of games.
I'm sure it's Unreal Engine 5. I'm sure it's not going to take long for people to make multiplayer. It's totally going to be a thing.
Have you seen you seen their recommended requirements for like, because there's recommended, but have you seen the high requirements?
Yeah. It gets absurd.
Yeah, so here are the like highest requirements is what it's saying for high, which is above recommended. Processor is an i7 1470 700K or a Ryzen 7 9800X 3D.
Some of the best CPUs on the market.
32 gigabytes of RAM, an RTX 5070 Titan or a 4080 Super. Like,
yeah,
those requirements are fucking insane, but I'm not surprised with what it's doing, especially if it's doing the AI calculations locally.
Yeah, I know some of it is, at least. I don't know if all of it is, to be honest, but I know at least some of it is ran on your computer itself. So Yeah, I don't know. From what I can tell, people seem to be pretty happy with it, which is what surprised me because I've seen a lot of criticism of the game of just it being like non-goal oriented and not really a competitor for The Sims because it's just too different. You know, this is it feels more like a legit life sim than just kind of like a casual fun game like The Sims might be in comparison. But no, after seeing it on Steam, like people seem to really enjoy this. It's got a ton of reviews, almost 90% positive on Steam right now. And yeah, I'm curious to see what they're going to do in the future.
It's also only $40.
Yep. That was another thing I wanted to bring
The
up.
price point is a huge, this is kind of absurd. And they've stated that as long as it's in early access, everything they add to it until it officially comes out is going to be free. There's no additional charges for anything they add up until release. So
is that true?
Which is
because I see in the roadmap they have DLC already. For
yes,
DLC.
anything labeled DLC will be
just
free
be
of charge.
optional download content, basically, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, the big pull for me is I played The Sims 2 or 3 when I was way younger, and I actually enjoyed the hell out of it. I was into it. For days, I would just sit at the computer playing whichever version of The Sims it was. And then I was like, cool, I maybe want to get back into it, but there's so much DLC that I immediately
There's $1,000 of DLC, right?
Yeah.
1,600 for Sims 4, I believe, is the
Oh my
number. It's somewhere
God.
around there.
Even
Which
worse.
And so for new I know it's not just me that gets turned off by that. I know a large part of people. Oh wait, no.
Well, dude,
this is a crazy amount.
One of the Inzoi reviews is straight up finally a version of The Sims where I have to pay $1,000+ to experience the full game.
Oh yeah, yeah. See, they know what's up.
Yeah,
That's
let's
cool.
see. Sims 4 is $898.88, and that's with a majority of it being 30% off or more.
Ugh.
Plus, I think there's some stuff that can only be bought in game.
I didn't realize Inzoi was so cheap compared to recent releases.
Yeah, $40.
I wanted to play
crazy.
The Sims for a while, but I'm every time I check, I'm oh yeah, there's fucking $300 of DLC on sale.
Yeah, and some of it's whenever I think of DLC for The Sims, I remember thinking back to the old expansions, that would add entire shops. You could run a shop. That was a whole DLC. One of them just makes it so your bathroom can get trashed.
I'm
That
sorry,
sounds like
what?
something that should have been in the base game.
It's $5.
$5 for a dirty bathroom.
Yeah,
You
and you
guys
get
need
to clean it
fuck
up. I'm not even joking. It's called the Bathroom Clutter Kit. $5.
Christ.
So check out Inzoi. It's out now for $40.
So here's
Whole complete thing.
I just remember what I want to bring up. This game is on GeForce Now, but it is one of the only GeForce Now games, along with I think Wilds. I don't know if there's anyone else that requires they cannot be played on the free tier at all. It literally goes, you need to upgrade your membership to either performance or ultimate for this.
Honestly, and just speaking just in general, GeForce Now is such a deal because trying to buy a new computer right now is fucking insane. My God.
I'm playing half
I'm
my
glad
games
I
on
got in
GeForce
when I
Now.
did.
And I'm playing half of it. I'm 1/3 of my games on GeForce Now, 1/3 on PlayStation, and the lighter games on my PC.
I kind of had to laugh because I'm looking at the Sims 4 Steam page, and there's a bonus where you can get access to one of the DLCs if you subscribe to EA Play. And it's the Get to Work DLC. They give you a fucking job. Oh man. But yeah, I think that's just about all I had.
Ooh. Sorry, I was looking at the GeForce Now membership.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I
you
kinda-
click on it. How much is
I
it now?
kinda-
$20 a month?
Yep.
Because my internet's great. It's my PC that's not.
Let's just get to
Dude,
start playing Marvel
I
Rivals
told,
on GeForce.
yeah, I told you. Try it out. Give it a try. I mean,
I
at
might.
worst
I
is
might.
$20,
I might.
you know?
Yeah. $20 a month?
Yeah, it'd be
Well,
monthly.
if you don't like it, you'd cancel it.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't need to get into my finances. Strider, what do you have for us today?
1 second. All right.
One.
So first and foremost, because I have a bit of news, and then I wanted to talk about Khazan. So I'm going to kind of go through this really quickly. There was the Ark AI trailer.
Oh, God.
No one wants to take credit for.
Oh my god!
Because
Yeah,
it's I don't even remember what the expansion is called, but it was a trailer for not even the remaster Ark, but for a DLC for the base game, the old base game of Ark 1, and it's not even developed by the same company that did it. It's like
called Aquatica as well. That was the DLC.
Right. Which teaser's better, this one or Warhammer?
Warhammer. Honestly,
Warhammer
Really?
doesn't use AI.
Yeah, at least someone drew the picture that we saw.
Which Warhammer? What are we talking about again?
The 3
The rainy
teaser.
picture.
The Space
The
Marine
what?
3 teaser.
Oh yeah, the Space Marine 3 chaser. Right, I
At
forgot
least
about
someone
that.
made that.
Yeah, it was hand drawn. Oh, like as you said in our chat, get the fucking person swimming, his feet just turning into fins partway through one of the shots.
Dude, when I was first watching through that, I was like, what is this? And then when I noticed the fucking foot turn into a flipper, I was like, oh no.
Oh, you got Mermaid DLC. Don't worry about it.
They didn't even know they were making it either.
Dude,
How long ago was Ark 2 announced?
A few years, I think, at this
a
point.
while. Yeah.
Like I can't believe they've been delaying Ark 2 for so long, because it wasn't just announced, if I remember correctly. They've been delaying it over and over and over again, and they're releasing DLC for the game that came before at the same time.
Well,
It's
dude,
like absurd to me.
Can you
Remember,
buy
like-
the original at this point, actually? Or because I thought you could only
don't
buy the
know.
remaster.
Well, like,
I have no idea.
don't forget, like they also had like that whole Atlas fucking snafu where like that was a DLC. They made its own standalone and they didn't take the Ark menu out of it.
Yeah, it was one of the pop-ups still said like quit Ark or something like that. This,
Yeah, it was like quit Ark DLC or something. It was like
a
it was
smoking gun that showed that this is a modified Ark, basically, not a new game.
Yeah, they announced Ark 2 5 years ago.
Yeah,
probably
that
not even
sounds
worked
about-
on now.
Oh my gosh.
You know, I'm watching this trailer again. This
Yeah.
is terrible.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
This
It's
is
bad.
like, this is so obnoxious to release this. Why? Like,
no one's taking
you
credit.
have Yeah.
Like responsibility for it. Like no one's admitting who okayed it either, from what I understand.
this is like a CEO or something. This is some, because no PR person would do this. No artist would do this.
Apparently,
Unless you'd have to be mad at that. Like they'd have to have fucked the artist over for him to be like, oh yeah, here, boop, send. Like this is terrible.
yeah, apparently there was an interview that Pocket Tactics did with the lead game designer Matt Cole at Snail Games, because they're trying to figure out like who decided to do this. And according to him, I'll quote this: the marketing department used still images of some of our assets to create an AI animated trailer. That was not part of the development team. We did not know that they were doing it. End quote. So the marketing team just said, oh, just make an AI trailer real quick. That'll do it. And the devs had no idea that it was a thing.
They found out with us.
This was signed, like multiple people signed off on this.
Yeah.
That man's legs, they're not even flippers. They turn into like fettuccine feet.
Yeah, it's weird.
Like, it's bad.
I just rewatched it. Yeah, and like the leg transforms too.
Yeah. I mean, I
This
guess
is
the
so,
good
like,
part is that since they're using like pictures of actual assets, like the thing, hopefully the DLC isn't all AI generated either.
No,
Or
full
neither,
send,
but-
fuck it.
It's only
Yeah.
It's only AI. There's no
Oh, man.
All right.
What a train wreck.
And moving on from this train wreck, Silent Hill F has already been banned in Australia, and there was no reason given for its refused classification rating. but then it got rated as 15 plus like 5 or 6 days later. Like I believe it got rated today.
What a weird rating. 15 plus.
It's because from what I was understanding is that they don't use 18 plus for anything other than movies and shows.
But like 15 plus, but they've also banned social media for anyone under 16. Like that went through. That's a thing now.
It's so weird.
Australia is kind of weird.
Australia's censorship things are very strange.
Just shout out to the fucking swimming pool that they named after a president who got lost at sea.
I hope his ghost can swim. What a weird thing to do.
A lot of weird stuff goes on in Australia.
Yeah, I was watching a show, Dirty Jobs, and it was like,
oh my god, I love Dirty Jobs.
It was kangaroo people. I don't know, but they said that the pouch. And I never, you know how marsupials have a pouch. Yeah. They said the pouch, the baby's just shit and piss in there, and the mom has to clean it out with her. I was
Thank you for sharing.
Never thought about that before.
Why did you tell us this?
Because I wanted everybody to lose the respect for marsupials that I once had as well. You think the pocket's just a nice little? No, it's gross in there. Don't open that. That's a bad present.
Well, actually, I sent you that. But Tasmania, I think it is, or Tanzania, whatever it's called, has the seal problem of Neil the seal, who is just a juvenile elephant seal that likes to go up on shore and fuck with things and scream at people.
He's just an asshole.
Dude, he hates traffic cones and like rams like roadside things. He apparently one time one of the most well-known stories, because he's like a celebrity, everybody actually loves him even though he's a nuisance, is he crawled up on the shore, crossed the street, fucking bodied this lady's mailbox, and then plopped himself down in front of her car and her front door so she couldn't leave. She had to call into work.
That's great. That's like the epitome of like, yeah, he's an asshole, but he's our asshole.
Oh, dude, there's like shots of people like spraying him with water to keep him nice and cool. Like,
I like that story. Much better than mine.
Yeah, another short.
Sorry, we have to move on.
It's fucking great.
This is not. You can't even tie this.
Get it out of here.
Where the fuck do I go from here?
What you were talking about?
Segue it. Segue it.
Yeah.
On a much less shitty situation, Game Informer is back, and they've got their entire team back. 100% of the people have returned.
Oh, I didn't even they were gone.
I think they got shut down. They got shut down sometime last year.
Yeah.
What they do?
We talked about that. I remember that.
Yep. And they're back.
Now, I never followed gaming journaling sites. I'm going to put that secret out there. Are they known as like a respectable?
I know the
name. Are they like legit? Yeah. Well, I know the name of IGN too, but I've seen so many like above 7 out of 10 rated games that it's hard to be like, well, this is real. So are they considered
my understanding is
better or worse than
they've been pretty reputable.
Okay.
That's always been my view of them. But I also haven't ever Googled, like, do people like Game Informer? Do people hate Game Informer? Ooh. Game Informer country.
Time to start.
I'm on it.
It's just their name I've always seen, like in a lot of places.
Hey, the magazine, right? I think I used to buy Game Informer magazine.
Okay. That's okay. Yeah. No, I think they were one of the better ones.
They were definitely one of the pricier ones. I remember that.
You reminded me. I think I own some Game Informer magazines.
I definitely used to. I just don't know if I still have them somewhere.
Do we know like how they came back? Like, did something trigger it, or
they just kicked in the door and said, "We're back"?
I'm not too familiar with why they came back, because there was a video and it's just kind of like celebrating them coming back. It was what I saw from Game Informer. But I don't know if they didn't really state why. Just they talked a little bit about like one of the things that when they came back is I don't even remember who actually like if someone bought them or whatever, but they said that the people who their new owners, one of the most important things for them is to keep the journalist integrity even when they're in talks with like bringing them back.
Oh, I see.
Good.
Yeah, so they actually released a post. There's a post on Game Informer's website about them being back. And yeah, they were purchased, and the entire team got rehired. And it was also made a decision. The owners actually insisted on Game Informer remaining an independent editorial outlet. So they are basically exactly the same as they were before.
Nice.
So they're still completely independent.
Cool. We got a new
Yeah.
place for news.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
All right, well, good for them. I feel, man, being a journalist must be so like scary right now
Stressful,
with
yeah.
the amount
Yeah.
of like AI articles I see all the time now. They're just everywhere. I have to like try to get rid of them. It's kind of insane.
Yeah, we literally brought this up last time with me searching up AI games and finding AI articles about AI games.
So oh,
Just stacks on stacks.
Stacks on stacks.
All right, well, good for Demon for what else do we got?
All right, we got a bunch of 2XKO news because they just had a big news announcement.
Oh, now I'm interested. I'm sitting up in my chair. I didn't hear any of this.
Gamer lean.
So there's a second playtest coming out.
I just heard Smith's chair. He actually leaned forward.
So I'm going to kind of go through it as it's on the website. What their news are, but they've announced Alpha Lab 2. People who signed up for the first one have a chance to get in the second one. You can also sign up for the second one. If you get in, there is no extra invite for this one. So it's going to be a smaller base. They've confirmed the game is releasing this year.
Oh,
They have confirmed that there are going to only be 10 characters on launch.
oh,
Jinx will be playable for this playtest.
oh.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I'm reacting as we go.
All right.
Yeah, this is a reaction podcast. All right, get used to it.
All right, so they've added. Oh my fucking god! There are 2 new fuses, Sidekick and Juggernaut, and they're based around like, basically focusing on one character and then the other type situations. So for Sidekick, your point and assist do not switch places ever. You play your point character, then you play your assist character. Point character gets a health boost and health boost and a defense boost when below 30% HP. You get double down, so you can use one super and then the other person's super. You get access to certain system mechanics at the start. You start with 1 bar of super meter and can store up to 5.
Ooh.
And then your teammate can press buttons in time with your opponent's attacks to reduce the damage you're taking when you're getting hit.
Oh, that's fun. I
That's
love that.
That's
So
nice.
Juggernaut is even more. It is you play one character, then the other person doesn't help at all. You get the health boost, defense boost while below 30% health. You get access to a certain mechanic at the beginning of a round. It's also the only thing that can force tag someone out and bring the other person in for your opponent. You can also double down your with the same character, so level 1 super into level 3 super. And then you could start with 2 super meter and store up to 5. They've taken out pulse combo. It is now just an option when you pick your character, whether or not you have pulse combos active. Fury.
That was like the auto combo, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now it's just it's a character choice. Like you turn an on or off when you pick your character. The Fury fuse got removed. It got replaced with Fury Break, which when one of your characters is knocked out, you can activate it to get a 25% damage boost and 25% damage reduction. And it can be used while you're in block stun or while the opponent's in hit stun or in neutral, and it will have different effects and timers based on like what it's used in. Like if you're in hit stun, combo breaks gives you 10 seconds. If your opponent's in hit stun, it wall bounces. You get 10. It lasts for 10 seconds, but if it's used in neutral, you get the bonus for twice as long. So it lasts for 20 seconds. It also allows you to cancel normals and specials with dashes. They're adding a rank system. Goes from there's a rank below iron now, aspirant, and it goes all the way up to challenger. It goes iron, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, emerald, diamond, master, grandmaster, challenger.
Did you just say ass spread? What is
No,
it? What is it called?
aspirin. It's
I just heard ass.
It's aspirin. I just said aspirin.
Wait, what is the rank called again?
Aspirin, I think.
Oh, aspirant.
Aspirant, yeah, like aspiring. Aspirant.
Oh, okay.
Level 1, ass spread.
Game's calling me ass. I haven't even started yet.
I'm sorry, that's what I heard.
Yeah, no, I definitely sounded like I said that the first time. So they've simplified controls. They've generally reduced the amount of time you're getting comboed.
Oh, nice. That's my favorite piece of news.
Further down in they say that like there's just reduced hit stop on everything. So you're getting combo for less, and like it's harder to maintain combos because certain like tag launchers and things aren't usable after a certain moment. And like you can't tag out after like I think after a tag launcher. So combos will be shorter.
Oh, good.
Push block is now that your teammates' responsibility. They can choose to push block for you, which is going to be funny.
Oh, geez, that's
so
gonna
like
be
if you're blocking plays,
experience.
I can choose whether or not to push block for you, to try to push block for you, get the opponent off you.
That's fine because I never remembered to do it anyway. Like, I have to say, as you know, I've played a lot of fighting games at this point, a lot of the newer ones. I never really like I like the game. I just could not get it. I never felt comfortable with it once. And I don't know. That was probably just me, but like I don't know.
With 2XKO?
Yeah, never once did I feel. Oh, nothing ever really. I don't know.
I just did degenerate shit as Echo.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was
tried to
doing.
learn combos and stuff, and I'd get them occasionally, but never once did I feel really in charge. Maybe that's because there wasn't really any characters.
Well, it also could be because it is we were playing as duos, like it was a duo game. So
yeah,
that could also be why. Like you don't feel in charge because you're not 100% in charge of everything.
Yeah. Also, I'm playing half as much, and the big thing that I think was a big turnoff for me was duos versus somebody playing solo. That was never really fun because those solo players, like it was, it's much harder to get two people to string a combo together than it is one person who's played tag games before.
Yeah, and I remember that one skill that lets you tag twice as well. Just set up like the side swaps are crazy. I remember that.
Yeah.
Absolutely degenerate gameplay.
Yep. Okay.
right.
Do we
Well-
know like how much this game is supposed to be when it comes out?
Free.
Is it going to be free?
Yep,
Okay.
it's going to be.
Because
Yeah,
me and
that's
Strider
right.
were talking about
Everything's
this
free.
outside the podcast. Like I didn't really mind there being only 10 characters if the game is free anyways. Like if it's just free, kind of whatever.
You
And
have
from the
one
sounds of
character,
it,
it's free.
yeah. Well, it's also just like with the way the game is set up, there's so many different ways to actually play the game. That there only being 10 characters kind of doesn't matter as much. You know what I mean?
Maybe? What do you
No.
mean?
Because 10 is a massively small roster for a tag fighter.
It is.
Like,
Yeah.
because I could already feel this limited selection in the alpha test as a negative, and it's not even to have double the characters.
Well, I mean more with like the different, what are they called? Are they called
Fuses.
styles and stuff?
Fuses.
Fuses.
Oh, you
yeah.
mean the gameplay types? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, especially from the ones you were describing as well, is also just going to change how to actually play the game too. Because I also got to remember like what the enemy team picked and have to take that into account as well, which already sounds like like it's going to be a lot. So I don't really mind there only being 10 characters. I'm sure they're probably just having more just loaded up to release later on because that seems to be the game dev meta right now.
It's definitely going to. I'm very interested to see like what the release schedule is, because the reason why
Yeah.
people are calling this out is because the game's been in development for 6 to 7 years.
Yeah. I don't really care because there's 160 characters. It's like saying Marvel doesn't have enough characters. Like the pool is endless. Like, don't worry, they'll be there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they totally have a bunch loaded up, and they're just gonna release them over time and just kind of play for the player retention and engagement more than anything else.
I'm very hopeful, but
I hope this succeeds.
that's just how slow fighting game characters get released. I'm hopefully they'll be able to release them faster. But moving on to more changes. Last Stand has been removed,
I
where
don't know what that was.
it was the dead person's like super assist that had the 10-second cooldown. Like for example, Darius.
where you just throw out a super.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's they might still have those, but they're called super assists now, and they cost 1 bar a meter. Otherwise,
Okay.
your characters just use their assists normally now. Well, they're
I'm gonna
dead.
spend all your meter, Fliz. All your meter is mine. As soon as it comes up, I'm throwing it out there.
That's fine with me. I'm happy. I kind of just want to play the game again.
I do too.
I want to cement my opinion on it.
Yeah, I actually really did enjoy it to a scale, even though I got frustrated because I was bad.
I think I was bad at it. I was
Yeah.
not very good at that game.
I was ass. I remember, like, the reason fighting one person was so horrible was because, they could do the combos every time, and it wasn't even close. We would do half a combo for one person, and anytime one of us actually did the full one, we went to transition to the next person, just instantly dropped it. And it just turned into nothing. Or I'd tag you in, and you'd be like, "Oh shit, I'm playing the game now." And you'd get punched in the face.
Communication.
Oh man. No, it was fun though. It's actually like a fun fighting game. I do not play fighting games. The only one I ever actually got into was Guilty Gear. And even then I only fight
You're a
like these
filthy
guys.
Kai player.
I am. I was told to play Kai. You can't even blame me. I was literally told play Kai.
We could still hate you for following through.
For following
Yeah, you still
instructions. Yeah.
stuck with it.
You were supposed to use him as a starter character and then move on to something better.
No. You told me play Kai because I suck at fighting Kai and I need someone to practice against. And that's what I did. Is I
may
tried to
have
get
said
good at
that.
Kai.
Well, and then the problem becomes I didn't get good at fighting Kai. I got mediocre at fighting you. I still sucked against all the Kais.
Yeah, and then you ran into the problem where you stopped doing some stuff because I would always call you out on it. And then you
Yeah.
stopped doing it to everyone that you would fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That doesn't work. Anyway, sorry. Continue, Jake.
Oh god, we're gonna be here for so long. So
Oh, it's okay. Just go over the main points.
well, just miscellaneous information now. Alts cost 3 bars instead of 2. Meter gain is now determined by the attack and no longer by the damage it deals. Combo length has been reduced. You can't use an assist after tag launcher double down. You can no longer handshake while your is champion is getting hit.
Oh,
That's a big one, because that happened quite a few times where you got mad, where you hit the other person and they swapped to them and you got you did not realize that happened and you got opened up, Fliz. I remember that one.
Oh, yeah. I did not like that mechanic. I can see why people would want that, and that's fine. I just personally, that made me mad more times than it felt helpful.
They simplified the super inputs. They're no longer double down inputs.
I didn't think they were that
Okay.
bad, to be
They
honest.
were.
but-
No,
I like that being a double down. It was very quick to use. Now it's S1 special 1 plus any attack button for super 1, S2 plus any attack button for super 2, and both of them together for your alt.
That's crazy. Actually, I think I remember I had the exact opposite problem. I thought they were too easy to do. I think I remember saying this, where I thought the inputs were actually like not fun to actually do, because I thought that was part of fighting games. Like that was like playing Guilty Gear. That was like, and even just hearing about Street Fighter and stuff, that was like just a thing.
it can be. I felt the same way until I played Grand Blue and just had the like easy inputs on, and I enjoyed the hell out of that. So
Okay.
It can go. It depends on how the game feels when you do it. You know, some games feel better
And,
when you do it, some don't.
And whether or not it's a level playing field.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Because everybody in Grand Blue used easy inputs. There was no reason really to use the
Even the like
more
small
difficult
reason there
ones.
wasn't, they took out from what I remember.
yeah. And the game's fine. I would be playing it now if it was more popular.
I mean, it's still good as season 2.
You
Um,
miss your Lil play.
I don't fuck that
I
character.
do. I do. The theme song came on my
Party People is so good.
YouTube the other day. Party People. I was like, oh my God, I want to make people mad again.
You want to make big streamers quit for the night.
They increase the collision size of champions, so you don't get like stuck inside each other as easily. So it's more visually apparent, like who's who. They added a bad block indicator to let you know when you got hit low when you were blocking high, and vice versa.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh.
Actually, that helps a lot learning as you fight. I like that.
Successful parries and catching someone's retreating guard with a low now come with new visual effects to let you know that that you outplayed it, to make it easier to like see and react to the punish. They revamped the tutorials. There's going to be a free battle pass, and there's the mega pool party bundle that they have that everyone can claim that gets in for pool party, Jinx, Darius, and Ari.
Skins?
Yeah.
Oh, not my character.
And then they've also confirmed that you will there's a mastery system type thing where you can earn rewards for champions and by doing character specific missions, and they will be things like avatar stickers, taunts, player cards, titles, and chromas.
Okay. Well, cool. I'm excited for the game to come back. Hopefully, I get in.
It's gonna be it's gonna be a smaller base than the first playtest.
Oh, that's lame.
Anyone who signed up, I
Alright.
believe, is already signed up for the next one. So
I hope they add a character I actually want to play.
Set.
I don't know who that would be.
well,
but
you've got
Punchy
three-
Shark Man.
We got 3 characters unknown. There's only
Oh.
3
The
empty
real
spots.
one
Question
of them.
is set one of them.
if Set's one of them, I might be on board. If Tom Kench is one, I'm uninstalling
What about that
every
one
other
punchy
game.
shark guy you really want?
Yeah, that guy. He seemed cool, but I don't know. I've kind
Bard.
of dipped on League. Yeah, Bard.
Get out here with your bird.
It's Yubi.
I just want the chime, not even Bard. I just want to play as the chime. It's really tiny. Start biting people.
You're playing as the meeps.
Yeah. Or yeah, the meeps, not the chimes. Stupid.
And that's the end of the 2XKO. Yeah, 2XKO news. But now because I know we're pushing time, so I'll try to be quick about it. But I want to talk about Khazan for a bit.
Oh yeah, that's the game. I thought you said that, and I thought you were going to talk about like the old Napster clone. Kazaa, we're going back, but no, this is the new Souls-like.
Yes.
That's that I didn't even know was here until I saw it on my Steam front page. I've heard nothing about it.
It's well, we'll just go through it quickly. It's a Souls-like with a lot of Neo elements and some Sekiro elements.
Okay.
Main gameplay can be is very Neo-like. There are 3 weapon classes. There are 3 types of weapons. There's dual wielding weapons, a sword and an axe, a greatsword, and a spear. And they all have like fairly extensive skill trees that you'll customize as you unlock. Respeccing's free in your skill tree, so you can try things out for free. You can swap around whenever you want. Game is mission based, similar to Neo, where it's a stage where you go through it like a standard area, and then at the end there's always a boss fight. Standout for this game is the boss fights by far. All of the boss fights.
No, I think I think you said the same thing about Black Myth. Was the last one you talked about like that?
But I would say these are even a level beyond. These are some like pretty fantastic bosses, though I do have a few problems with them.
Now this is from DNF, right? This is
a DNF universe game. Yep.
Okay.
I'm not sure who actually produces it. I'm not sure who the dev is. But before I get to the bosses,
the dev is Neeple.
Is it?
Yeah.
The standard levels are okay. They're kind of bland in that they're like a lot of hallways, or like wide open areas.
I can see that. I mean, the whole game seems to take place like in winter too, so there's a lot of whites and grays outside.
The first few missions are all in the mountains, although there is some more variety I've gotten. I'm like roughly about halfway through the game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but weapons definitely evolve as you unlock their skills. Combat gets more elaborate. Like the spear, for example, playstyle is once you finish your light attacks, you get a buff for a short time that buffs your charged heavies and gives you an after image on your normal attacks. But it also allows you to do some other things, like further skill follow ups and similar things to keep a combo going. Like once you get an opening on a boss, but the levels are pretty straightforward. The most interesting thing is just the generic enemies to fight. Although the game has a really bad habit of doing what I call like things that are unfair the first time and are only fair on the second. Because there's a lot of things where like if you don't know something's there. Like there's specific enemy type, these worms that they'll usually hide under a corpse pickup, but your only indicator that they're there is if you pull out your ranged like spear ability and aim at the floor, the crosshair turns red. Otherwise, you have no idea they're there.
I gotcha. That's annoying.
There's also these floors that like I've had a few floors just break out from under me and kill me, which felt very mean spirited.
Like very mean spirited.
Like not even drops to a lower elevation. Like it just drops into an infinite pit and you just die.
Nice.
But there's been a few unfair like haha got you fuckers moments. The actual boss fights are really good, but they're so long.
Are they?
Every boss like a successful well, here to give an example. So the first two bosses are the first boss, warm-up boss. Second boss is this is the get good boss. He's going to test you if you're starting to learn the mechanics. And then there's boss 3, who is one of the most insane early game bosses I've ever fought in any game.
Oh,
because the difficulty goes basically from like, I'll use Elden Ring, like open world boss, right? Like one of the mini dungeons in Limgrave, right? To like Margit for the second boss, right? And then it's fucking here's Promised Consort Radon for your third boss fight. Because he's so difficult because like I think my successful run on him took about 6.5 minutes of fighting. And because one of the big problems is your healing is very limited and you take so much damage. But you also don't deal that much damage. And this boss fight has 2 separate phases with gigantic health bars that each take like 3 minutes to burn down.
It sounds very, very much like Dark Souls.
No, it
sounds like skill issue to me.
It's noticeable. But no, here's the thing. This boss and the 7th boss in the game got nerfed on day 1.
Oh.
And to say
wait, hang on. Did you beat the boss before the nerf?
I beat the first one before the nerf. I hadn't got to the second one before it. But the example I'm using here, I beat it before the nerf. Okay. It took me like 2 hours. It was a fucking slog.
I know one of our friends is going to play this game, and I'm gonna tell him that you beat it before the nerf, and that he'll never be able to.
That
It's gonna drive
second
him
boss
insane.
is who I was fighting like right before we got here, or before we started the podcast. It was what I was trying to get to before we did this. That boss is fucking insane. Like that.
Is he though?
Yeah, it's like Promise Consort Radon meets Malekith with fucking cutting your HP in half. And just there is the other thing about these fights is because of the way there's so for your defense options, you have your dodge, right? You have block, and then you have parry, which is guard right before getting hit. And then there's like super parry, which is guard plus heavy, like well in advance before an attack comes out, and you try to actually hit their weapon with yours to knock it out of the way. The timing is very tight, but it absolutely obliterates the enemy stamina bar to open them up for a riposte. Like you only need to do it once or twice to completely break a boss's stamina. But
Okay.
the thing is even on perfect blocks and parries, if you are taking anything other than physical damage, you chip damage comes through and status starts building up. So if you're forced to block too many attacks by some of these bosses, you either get hit with a status or you just end up having to heal based off how much you're blocking. And it's really noticeable in these long fights because you'll just slowly be whittled down. Because even to the point where I'm halfway through, I have 5 heals. And you start with 3 of them. I've only gotten 2 healing upgrades, and then not even the amount they heal, just the amount of them. It's the point where like if you get hit like once during where if I got hit more than once during the first phase of the third boss, I would just give up because there was no point in continuing the run. But the actual fights themselves are very fun. I just feel they're just slightly too long because each boss feels like they have too much health, and because the thing is, these bosses got nerfed, and this upset the player base a little bit. If you check the Reddit for the First Berzerker, people are pissed.
Yeah, I could see that. That's always annoying because again, it's that thing where you now you can't beat it before the nerf and when you wanted to, and it just feels illegitimate. Like you didn't actually win; you were given it.
They should pull a I feel like this is something Elden Ring should do. Like next time they have that problem where like you can get an item that will make it basically the pre-nerf boss, or don't get that item and it's the post-nerf boss. And you get to choose. And either way you still win. You just get to say, I beat the pre-nerf version. If you wanted to go that route. That'd be cool. That'd be a good fix.
The thing is, I don't think anyone in this can tell me what actually changed in the fight. Because they just said bosses were nerfed. 8 more bosses were buffed too, by the way, in the same patch. No one said anything about those.
I beat him pre-buff.
What a gamer. But like, if you check the subreddit, it's literally anything anyone's been talking about for like the past 5 to 6 days or whatever. Like, it's like there's 3 posts. It's like, these bosses deserve to be nerfs. Why the hell did the devs give in to these nerfs? And this game is the greatest thing in existence. I like the only 3 posts.
Interesting.
But oh my god, they're so mad. And it's reminding me of when people said that Balteus got like super nerfed in Armored Core 6 and people were like complaining. But the only thing that changed the Balteus fight is the missiles track you slightly less.
Yeah, they might not have even changed anything. There's fucking.
That's what I almost want them to say. We actually just lied. We didn't touch any of the bosses. You're all liars. Like, because I looked for like what changed and I couldn't find anything on it. It's just boss got nerfed, boss got buffed. And like I went back and fought him and he felt relatively similar. I think there's just slightly longer pauses.
So for this game, you said that the areas between bosses are like super straightforward.
They're not the most interesting in terms of level design, though. The most interesting thing about them is there are like quite a few like Dark Souls 1 type shortcuts where you loop back to a previous bonfire equivalent, but through like a locked door or something.
Oh, okay. So
Which
there's
is
some
like,
complexity in it.
Not too much. It's usually like here's 2 paths. One goes like 5 seconds that way, gives you an item or enemy that you fight to, and then you go the other way.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, is this like is this true Dark Souls-esque where, you can grind souls to level up and increase your stats? Or is this more like kind of like how Fury was, where this is just your character? Maybe it'll give you some extra weapons to use, but like there is no padding to the game. Like you just have to, get good.
Thank you for giving this up. It is like Dark Souls in terms where you can grind you, but this has one of my favorite features ever. Is that the way you gain EXP is based on just damage dealt and damage blocked basically as you play the game. But it's not like given like you don't get a chunk amount of when you beat an enemy. You just like for each hit you land, you'll get some, and for each damage like you perfect parry, you'll get some. But the other thing is you get souls based on how far you got through the boss, and it dumps the souls outside the boss room, like right near either right in front of the door or right by the respawn point, because there's always a bonfire equivalent right before the boss. So you can level up and grind. You can level up both your stats and your skill points by just fighting the boss over and over, by just continually retrying. And you'll slowly get stronger and unlock more of your moveset basically as you fought. Because like with the first boss, the third boss, I leveled up 4 or 5 times and got like 7 or 8 skill points just trying him over and over.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
It's definitely
it seems like part of the reason for the difficulty is simply because you're supposed to lose. Like you're supposed to get stronger and stronger as you just make attempts. So that seems to be
it is probably the hardest Souls like I've played in a long time.
Yeah. Okay.
Like on average, there is an easy difficulty too, but the easy difficulty, it warns you if you select that when you go to select it or whatever, that if you do this, you can't go back to normal.
Oh, you have to play the rest of the game as through easy. Okay. Yep. All right. Do we know like how easy is easy?
I think it's a pretty substantial decrease. It's mostly just in the amount of punishment you can take.
Okay, so it's like health. You get more chances.
Like it's like reduced stamina damage taken and reduced health were the big ones I was seeing from what people were saying.
Okay, cool. Those are pretty good because it lets you still experience the boss really, and just have like more leeway. And what were you saying, Fliz?
Oh, it's just this is by the same people that made DNF, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we were saying earlier. Yep,
it's the same. Okay. Is it the same
people? Nexon and Neeple.
Yeah, I know Nexon.
And I think Neeple are the DNF. People actually behind Dungeon Fighter Online.
Yeah, okay, Neeple's the dev. Nexon's the publisher.
Oh, poor DNF duel. Okay, sorry. I just wanted
I do have some nitpicks that I want to go through. The default stamina you have and the default stamina regen is fucking garbage.
What do you mean?
Like you block like 2 attacks or like swing 4 times and you are out of stamina, and it's so noticeable that you're so limited on stamina during the early game.
What weapon are you using?
I'm using the spear. I was even all of them because you unlock the dual. You start with dual weapons, then you unlock the greatsword and spear in the same mission. And
how many times can you swing that spear and not get winded? Let's see you do it.
Honestly, it might actually be like 1 or 2 more swings than your character this time. Like it's like 3 swings and you're like, eh. And I just have to sit
spear,
there,
man.
Fucking, oh my god! I just got blindsided by that. So yeah, no,
you're welcome.
The stamina is rough in early game, because the other thing that makes it is that like when you perfect parry something, you still lose stamina. Like it will drain you up to 0. It's just as long as you keep perfecting it, you won't get punished for being at 0. But when your stamina drops to 0, you get stunned till your stamina bar refills. And then certain enemies can punish that with a like basically a riposte, like you can.
Oh, geez. Okay.
So, and the other thing is that it's usually when I'm stunned, I notice this is that like you're not actionable once you get hit for a while. So sometimes you eat like 3 or 4 attacks in a row and just die.
All right. So get comboed easy, get tired easy.
The game also isn't the most consistent in terms of like sometimes the enemies will just hyper armor through your attacks when they shouldn't be, because there's a bunch of like unwritten rules, like if enemy is in attack animation, they're harder to stun, but if they're not swinging, they're easier. And that, for example, one of them is if you do a counter strike, which is there's certain unblockable attacks that you have to parry with L1 plus square on PS5. It's once they flinch from that, as long as they don't reset to neutral, they'll keep getting stunned as long as you keep comboing. Like, it's unwritten rules like this. And like certain actions will cause a stagger on this tier of enemies and some won't. But sometimes it's not even consistent on the same boss. Like, I'll stun the same boss 5 times with the same action, but on the 6th, for some reason, it doesn't stun him. I'm not sure why, or it doesn't flinch him. One of the other things is that if you get hit with a status effect, that's going to eat like 60% of your healing. And if you get hit with it again, like poison, you're just going to die. Like, I could not survive getting poisoned twice between bonfires.
So yeah, you're like really squishy.
You're very limited on your healing, and it's very noticeable. And there's like 5 different status effects that are just drain HP. The hub world is like 5 times too large. It's like unnecessarily large. Like this is a big one, because it's like, okay, so I want to go from like checking my gear, right, to I want to go check the shop. Is I have to run up like 4 sets of stairs, run up like down 3 hallways, up another set of staircases, go through a dimensional portal to a different like to the underworld, basically, go down 2 more sets of stairs, like spin the camera around, and then there's someone there, and it's like, oh, I want to go check my blacksmithing gear. Okay, now I have to go back to the mortal world by running in another 40 seconds. The hub is just too big.
Like it's Monster Hunter Wilds.
No, it sounds like Destiny. Y'all remember Destiny, where like
I did not play Destiny.
You'd have to go down hallways and upstairs and down. Like it was especially when you're used to moving around on your bike and using moves to move faster. It's like, nah, you just gotta walk. You gotta jog slowly all the way across this map with nothing in between except you and your goal. Have fun. Not a great especially in like a single player game. Why have a hub that big? I don't know.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. But at least the game is good. I'm surprised they made it like so difficult. But
it's like the best part was one of the reviews. I was like checking what people were saying, because I realized that like advanced access or whatever was available, because the base version was $60 and the deluxe edition was $70, and I thought it was going to be a $70 game. So I was just like, fuck it, I'll buy the deluxe edition. I wanted to see what people are saying, and someone said this is easier than Black Myth Wukong, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess that's all right. Little did I know the fucking absolute wall I was about to run into.
They lied to you. They fucking lied.
Yeah, no, that 7th boss is even more absurd than the 3rd one is. He's causing me problems.
Well, it seems like people are saying the game also runs really well. It looks really good too. It's all like cell shaded graphics as well.
Yes, it looks very pretty. I do like the art style. Also, like the feel of the game, like the combat of like parry sounds, like the hit sound effects and how enemies react, is usually very good. It's just, as I was saying earlier, like sometimes enemies won't get stunned when I expect them to. Like by doing the exact same maneuver that worked like 3 more times beforehand. And I'm not sure exactly what's causing it. It's amusing. Another mechanic is that eventually you get basically, I can't tell if they're the corpse of dead players, or if they're just located in certain areas in them in each level. But you could summon like basically a AI controlled version of what I'm assuming is other people's builds that have died there. And you get to fight them for their loot like in Neo. But
that's pretty cool.
And it's basically you are fighting your own moveset, basically, just based on which weapon they're using. But the funny thing is that it feels really unfair. It's just there's sometimes with the opponent just fucking parries you repeatedly, and there's nothing you can do because he's just going to do it perfectly. So every so often I get humbled by that guy.
That guy, Peter.
Oh, there's a demo. Soon there's a demo. Oh, you already own
So
it.
here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing about the demo, right? Is you can carry your save over, but it's a little broken because certain graces, like bonfires that you lit, just don't work in that save carried over to the full game for some reason. And the other thing is that the attribute scaling on weapons is just, I don't know what happened, but it's weapons from the demo are literally better than weapons you find in the main game up until like over halfway, because they just scale better because all weapons I found, and from what I understand, are BC ratings in letter grades and like how your stats affect them. But the demo had B plus B weapons, which are just better for half the game, even when they're like 50, 60 levels below the recommended level.
That's your reward for playing the demo.
Yeah. Try it now. Get the cool weapons. I also did see the deluxe edition just gives you better weapons too.
Yeah, it gives you a starting set. Not even a starting set, because you can't even use it till the third mission. You get the hub.
Oh, soon you own the soundtrack and the art book.
He's gone. He's gone.
He's gone. Lost the time. Went to the bathroom. All right. Any final words on that? Because we are pushing it.
Definitely recommend. Just be aware that game is very difficult.
All right.
Only if you're a real gamer should you buy this game.
Yeah. I was gonna try and agree with you, but it sounds really like
it is like punishingly difficult, not just like challenging difficult. Like you fuck up twice, game over.
Sounds like I'll buy this, die to the third boss, and then turn it off and never play it again.
The fight's fun. That is the thing. Is like there's definitely way more frustrating fights in the Soul series than so far are. Like I've enjoyed the 7 bosses I fought. I've enjoyed all of them except for one, and that boss fight was just okay.
All right.
But no, these are definitely some of my favorite boss fights in games in a while, since like probably Final Fantasy 16.
I swear you just talked about some game that you had that had your favorite boss fights that you just played.
That was probably Final Fantasy 16.
Was it? I'll have to look back. I don't think it was. I could be wrong though. Anyway, that is like so much more than all of our time today.
Look at all that content.
Yeah, free content. You should thank us by dropping a like or a comment or 7.5 stars on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, whatever's. Or you could send us an email at giantandnewcrabpod@gmail.com. We'd just like to hear from you. I think that's it though. I am about to go to war.
Ooh.
It's not a war I went off in, but I gotta do it.
You gotta
I
pay.
wish you luck.
Yeah, I need your what was that game called? Khazan still. I need your Khazan skills. I need stamina potions and health potions and a couple retries. I need to nerf my boss.
Hatchets out. It's been buffed.
All right. Anyway, that's it for us. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye.